human intelligence is really rich and fascinating, exciting. There are a lot of misconceptions about it. The whole idea of different types of intelligence. There is something called general intelligence. Some people are generally smarter than others. That's a real fact. You can go on Twitter if you want to test that hypothesis, see if it's true or not. There's some people who are able to reason and process information quicker and learn quicker across multiple situations, kind of devoid of the content or the domain. With that said, there are group factors. There are different components of general intelligence, such as visual spatial, such as verbal, and it goes on. I think that we all have our patterns of strengths, of cognitive strengths and weaknesses, but on average, there still is, there is meaning in IQ. It's not a meaningless construct, and I've never argued that it is. I think there's a lot of nuance with the field of intelligence, and a lot of my research is trying to show that nuance and also not use IQ testing as a way of limiting potential, but only using that information as a way to activate potential in all people. So I don't like how a lot of the policy decisions have been made regarding IQ testing in K through 12. That's something I've definitely criticized, but I do still think that the intelligence matters.
Scott, I'm curious if you have any other pet peeves having done so much research across self actualization, human intelligence, psychology. I mean, it's hard to summarize everything that you've looked at. Any other pet peeves when it comes to concepts that have traveled into the mainstream that you feel like it's not actually helpful or are misconceptions that are harmful?
Oh yeah, I mean, there's many. There's many. One, of the intelligence is the same thing as creativity or imagination. They're very different. They're correlated. People who score higher on IQ tests do tend to, on average, score better at divergent thinking, but the correlation is not extremely high. And a lot of people who are very smart intellectually don't have a great imagination, or are not very high in the personality trait openness to experience. That's a separate trait. I also really can't stand this chart that seems to go around about what you're capable of achieving in your life based on various IQ bands. Jordan Peter, this I don't know if you've heard of the psychologist Jordan Peterson, but um,
Unfortunately, or fortunately, I don't know.
he's obsessed with these bands and has done videos that I think cause a lot of damage, showing he's like, this is what you're capable of in life. If your IQ is this to this, you could, if it's between this band and this band, you sewage work is the best for you. If it's within this band and this band, then you can maybe consider being a doctor or a lawyer, et cetera, et cetera. And I can't tell you how many young men have emailed me panicking over these Jordan Peterson videos that they are not able to do anything in life. I try to help as much as I can by responding compassionately. They've never actually tested their IQ, they're just freaking out over a Jordan Peterson video. Who's anyone else to tell you what you're capable of unless you try?
I was going to ask that, like, who actually knows their IQ? Like, I don't know what my IQ is. I've never tested my IQ.
Most people don't. They try to guess. I think there are a lot of self-limiting beliefs that people have. People getting in their own way. Yeah, I'm just a big believer in just going for your dreams, and as corny as it sounds.
And as far as taking tests, Emma, you mentioned, I think before we got on, that you'd taken Scott's tests on his website, which don't require an email. I like taking online IQ tests and Enneagram tests and I mean, it's a fun way to procrastinate when you have to do something else. So I've taken any number of online IQ tests, and what's fascinating about those is how completely different they all seem in what they're asking and how they're assessing. I
Well,
haven't done the ones where you have to then pay for your results. Like I do stop at that point.
You have a boundary.